to laugh because I worked in city council and I know how city council works. You can't pass anything without 9 votes. So, acting like somebody who was in the minority party got all of this stuff done when he needed 8 other people plus the mayor to support what did he do? But you can tell that to people who don't know how government actually works. You can tell that to them. Oh, he did all this stuff for black people. All right, what? And I try to make sure that our folk understand how this thing actually works and that there is nobody that's in there just dictating stuff because we don't have kings. We don't have queens. We don't have monarchy. We have a democracy with checks and balances where you actually need support from other people in order to get stuff done.
Tune in to Wake Up with Word with Solomon Jones every Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. only on WURD. Progressive Black Talk Media.
Hey, Dad, your prescription will be ready in just a minute. Hey, Dad, your laundry will be ready in just a minute. Dad, your lunch will be ready in just a minute.
Hey, honey, why don't you take a minute?
When you help care for a loved one, you give them as much time as you can, making sure they're safe and comfortable. But it's just as important that you take some time for yourself. At AARP, we can help with information and useful tips on how you can maintain a healthy life balance, care for your own physical and mental well-being, and manage the challenges of caring for a loved one. Because the better care you take of yourself, the better care you can provide for your loved one.
Thanks, Dad.
Thank you. You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides to support you and your loved one at aarp.org/caregiving. That's aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
We're bringing joy and power to the people. This is WURD Radio, 900 AM and 96.1 FM, WURD, Philadelphia, celebrating 20 years of progressive Black Talk media. Streaming online at wordradio.com and the WURD Radio app. The views and opinions expressed by the guests, listeners, and hosts of any program on WURD Radio do not necessarily reflect those of the ownership, management, or advertisers of this station.
I'm simply saying that life finds a way.
All right, people, write something on the board. Let's spell it. First letter.
L O G.
What's that?
What?
It's time. It's time to have real, honest, open, difficult, and inspiring conversations. It's time for Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hello there, family. Hello and welcome. Welcome to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. Happy Monday to you. Happy Monday, November 13th, to be exact. Whew. The time is flying, isn't it? Welcome to the beginning of the Love and Life week. I hope you had a great weekend. And okay, so y'all know I want to know all about it. How about that? You know I do. You know I do. Every Monday, I tell you that I want to know. I want to know how your weekend was. I want to hear all about it. To that point, actually, I want to share some things with you all. But I also want to extend my gratitude, my utmost gratitude to each and every one of you. Family, just for your love and your support. You guys are awesome. You're so awesome. And I just definitely, I have to acknowledge the love that I felt at WURD's 20th anniversary celebration. Words cannot express um, just how much joy I feel to be a part of the WURD family. And it felt so awesome to be able to spend some time with you all in person, just to feel your spirits, hug up on you, love up on you, and all that good stuff. I just need to thank you too for all of those hugs and the expressed sentiments. It really, really touched me. So thank you. Thank you, family, from the bottom of my heart, with every fiber of my being, quite honestly. I'd also like to thank Hampton, Virginia, for all the love on Saturday. I was in Hampton on Saturday with the Will Downing family, with the crew. I had a blast as usual, but just thank you all as well. It was really great, really great, really great. And then on Sunday, I went to see the incomparable Gladys Knight at NJ Pack. Family, there are no words. There are no words. You hear me? Just no words. There are no words. How about that? There are no words. But I will say, as an understatement, I will say she was just phenomenal, just simply majestic, majestic. I could only hope. But I digress. So, to my fellow Scorpios, happy birthday to you, especially if you're celebrating a birthday today. That is, happy birthday. Happy birthday. I do want to share some things. I've got some housekeeping to take care of, some things that I've got to put on your plate. The first of which is WURD Radio is sharing a harvest for the world. Now through December 31st, visit wordradio.com to find information on upcoming give back events in the Philadelphia area. If your organization is hosting free clothing giveaways, food drives, free workshops, community dinners, and more, well, please share the details using the form on our website. Visit wordradio.com/the harvest and look for the harvest banner. It's harvest time, family, and we are sharing information on those giving back to the community. The harvest is brought to you by Comcast, Pico, Keystone First, and the United Way. We are WURD, progressive Black Talk Media. And the other thing that I want to put in your pocket, or put on your plate, if you will, is that I want to remind everybody that we need your support. We need the support from our community, family. Our Forward and Up campaign has an unprecedented goal for WURD Radio to recruit 2,000 members of the Forward movement. I believe in WURD. And y'all know I do, okay? I tell you I do, and you can see it because I show you. I believe in WURD. And because you're listening, I happen to believe that you do too. So if you are not already a member of the Forward movement, if you're not already a member of the Forward movement, well, now is the time. If you're not a member, it's time right now, y'all. Go to wordradio.com and click on membership. It's right there at the top of the page. So you can help us to reach our goal of 2,000 members in our 20th year of Black Talk Media. So, family, you know what time it is. It's time for us to check in. I've already told you I want to know how your weekend was, how your day is going thus far. I want to know all about it. So now is that time to do it. So if you are joining us by way of socials, well, I didn't mean to say that because you could do it through the entire program. But if you're joining us by way of socials, let us know. Let us know by sharing a comment, and I will do my best to read it aloud on the air. Or you can even give us a call, and you can do that by dialing 215-634-8065. You can even call us toll free, and you can do that by dialing 1-866-361-0900. That's just if you want to share some love with us verbally. Nick and I, we love all the love that you share. We'll take it any way you share it. Yes, we will. For those of our family members, I haven't forgotten about you. I haven't forgotten about you. whose hearts are a little heavy today. I must admit, mine was, it's been a very, very emotional day today. Well, an emotional weekend for me, quite honestly, but today especially. But if your heart is heavy today, if your light is shining just a little dimly, just know that I'm sending you some extra love and some extra hugs on behalf of your entire tribe and village, because I need you to know that you're not alone. We are not alone. Do you hear me? We are not alone. We've got each other. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. On that note, we said farewell today to our beloved Azel Dixon. I just want to take this time to let the friends, family, and loved ones of Azel know that we are all hurting together. But the happy inside my hurt is that he was so loved and he knew it. Just so loved. So for any of you who knew Azel, if he touched you in any way, just know that I too am hurting with you, because he was such a gentle giant. He's the maestro, as we call him. He was a beautiful human being. So just know that if you too are feeling a little heavy today, if your light is just a little dim for whatever reason, and I don't need to know what the reason is, just know that you're not alone. You are loved. And on behalf of your tribe and village, you're getting all this love. You hear me? All of it. I'm going to take a moment to go to our phone lines. One of our family members is waiting to join the conversation. Hello.
Hello, Cal.
Hey, Ron.
Just let me get started.
Okay.
Thank you for praying for that woman on Friday, beloved. The music was wonderful. The elder that was sitting over to the right of you in the red, she was way up in age. And many others, I don't know their age. But you know, when that situation took place, you went into your prayer. I heard you praying on that mic. It wasn't, just thank you for doing that. Because the writer was absolutely right. When praises go up, blessings come down. I certainly hope that she's doing well. But the other thing I want to say is that we're faced with, maybe you'll talk about it on one of your programs. I'm quite sure WRD is going to talk about that. And that is what I'm looking at television and what the Republicans got planned for us and our benefits and our entitlements. Mm-hmm. Especially with, I know it's a whole process, a lot of rhetoric, but we got to participate. These people talking about doing a lot of, damage to our entitlements and things that is available that through other presidents that have helped us in this country. So this is why we must participate. And once again, isn't it something how a song can lift up your spirit? And I'm glad because of what your gift that you have, beloved, that Mr. Will keep you and, come and bring you joy, because you bring so many other people joy like he brings joy. And that's what it's all about. It was an awe in the room. And, I got arthritis today. I don't know if you sweater anything out there today, but my hands swelled up. Mm-hmm. That rheumatism is bad. And this is why we must participate for elders and even people that's not so old, because I know we concern and we somewhat complain, but we need these programs to help our seniors and everything. And I'm glad that WRD and the Corporation for the Aging, the Green Show that comes on, mm-hmm. to help our citizens in this city. And I'm glad that the station itself encouraged participating to take out existence. Those things is not in the best interest. I really enjoyed myself, and I really am, and I did cry. Oh, I cried. No, I cried, and I cried in front of you and in front of the other people. When you went out of your music zone and went into the spiritual action, Almighty God, to come in there and assist that lady that was going through a metamorphosis. Yes, you and all of us, and all of us sent up some sort of, well, it was a moment. This as a reminder to me, we ought not take anything for granted. Mm-hmm. I'm 80 years of age, and there were some other people there that have been with the station for years. That was there. So thank you. Thank you for giving that prayer. Prayer does work. Thank you.
Yes, it does. Thank you, Ron. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, family. I wasn't sure if I was going to mention it or address it, but I now that Ron has broached the subject, um, I think that I should. Thank you, Ron. Thank you just so much. One of our family members had a medical emergency at our 20th celebration, and family, in the moment, the first thing in my spirit was help. When I'm at a loss for words, when I'm overcome with emotion, when I don't know what to do, I pray. It's the only thing I know to do. It's the only thing I know to do. I go get my help. And that was what I thought to do. And I thought, while I was praying, I was thinking there's so many of us who are in here who are feeling the same way. You know, we wanted our family member in that moment to be relieved of the distress. And so I was calling for help. I was calling for help. And I just felt that, I just really felt an overwhelming sense of unity, because family, we came together, we prayed. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. And it was just truly a blessing. It was truly a blessing. And I did check on our family member. I followed up the following day, and our family member is doing better. Our family member is on the mend, and all is coming along well. But I want to thank you, family, as well, because I'm one person. I am one person. And I know that when two or more are gathered, you know. You know how the saying goes, you know what it means when two or more are gathered. And that's what we were. Our tribe came together on Friday because that's who we are. That's what we do. That's what I know us to do. That's what I know in my spirit. That's what we do. And when I have a conversation about being a vocalist and what I do, I always tell anybody music is my ministry. So I don't separate the two. I can't separate the two, because my gift of song it's just that. It's my gift. God gave me a gift of music. And from what I understand and what I've been told, music is a universal language. So if he chose me to share that gift, that's a tremendous blessing. And I felt that in that moment. And I just wanted to say thank you again, because I feel, we were leaning on one another, and we were leaning on the everlasting arm in that moment. You hear me? You hear me? But our family member is on the mend. I do want to say that, because I did follow up. I did check to find out how things were coming along and how things were going. So Ron, thank you for that. Thank you for bringing that to the forefront, because again, I wasn't sure if I should talk about it, but I guess I should, because you know what? Like I said, we came together because that's what we do, and we did not hesitate. We stood still. That's what we did. We stood still, and we prayed. We came together, and our family member is the better for it. Like Ron said, listen, when prayers go up, blessings come down. And yes, they did. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Yes, they are. They are continuing to do so. Oh, family, here it is, Monday, November 13th. Thank you so much for joining us today. What we're going to do is take a short break, though, just a little short break. And when we come back, I'm going to go to our socials. So our family members on our socials can join the conversation too. So stay with us, family, because we are coming right back.
Here's what you missed on Wake Up with Word.
I just read a post this morning talking about one of the mayoral candidates and how much he had done for the Black community. And I just had to laugh, because I worked in city council and I know how city council works. You can't pass anything without 9 votes. So, acting like somebody who was in the minority party got all of this stuff done when he needed 8 other people plus the mayor to support what did he do? But you can tell that to people who don't know how government actually works. You can tell that to them. Oh, he did all this stuff for black people. All right, what? And I try to make sure that our folk understand how this thing actually works. And that there is nobody that's in there just dictating stuff, because we don't have kings. We don't have queens. We don't have monarchy. We have a democracy with checks and balances where you actually need support from other people in order to get stuff done.
Tune in to Wake Up with Word with Solomon Jones every Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. only on WURD. Progressive Black Talk Media.
The holiday season is here. What a better way to say I love you than stuffing their stocking with scratch-offs. Whether naughty or nice, you can give your loved ones a chance to win big prizes and keep them occupied while you fix your holiday dinner. Look for the PA Lottery's new holiday scratch-offs. A happy holiday is only a scratch away. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. My grandpa Lou is the reason why my dad and I started racing, and I'm really proud to follow in his tracks. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. I've learned a lot on this journey with my grandpa Lou, and the memories of my grandpa will always be with me. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Talking about Alzheimer's can be really tough. But if you notice something, have a conversation with your loved one. Encourage them to see a doctor or offer to go with them. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. The Alzheimer's Association provides care, support, and research to help you take control of the situation with your family and manage the disease together. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
This is your celebration.
Congratulations, WURD, on your 20th anniversary. You do not look a day over 18. But the importance of Black Talk Media is that it takes a deeper dive into our community's issues that you can't cover in a 30-second news bite on TV, that you have dialogue, that you have communication. Sometimes you have disagreements and confrontation, but you come to an understanding. Thank you for being communicators of our issues in our community.
WURD Radio celebrating 20 Black joy and excellence. We're so happy to be here. Karen Smith.
Sandees Davis.
And we're wishing you the best, and 20 more and 20 more and 20 more and 20 more.
We're celebrating 20 years of progressive Black Talk Media. You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hello there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD. Listen, for those of you who have not yet checked in, I'm still waiting to hear from you. I want to know all about your weekend. I want to know what you did and how things went. I want to know about today. I want to know about your life. Let me know what's going on with you. As promised, before the break, I said we would go to our socials to see what our family members are saying online. And Raphael shares a good evening. He says that he's checking in. Hi there, Brother Raphael. Always nice to have you join us. Brother Malcolm is watching and listening from West Mount Airy, as usual. We love it. I love it. I love it. He shares a good evening with all of us. Thank you so much. We received that. And Harold shares, Harold, thank you. He shares that my singing was fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You know what, Harold? Wait a minute now. How come we didn't get a picture together? Family, I told y'all. I said I was going to beat you with a wet noodle if we did not take pictures. Now I took some pictures with some of you, but Harold, we don't have a photo together. And then he shares, look at this. He got some nice pictures of me singing. He and Ron were blown away. Well, you know what? You didn't take a photo with me. Okay. So you just expect me to come beat you with a wet noodle. Darren is checking in. Hi, Darren. Darren Thomas, that is. And Miss Lily. Hi, Miss Lily. Always, always, always a pleasure to have you join us. Tony is with us tonight as well. Hi, Tony Brown. Hey there, hey there. I want to know, what did you do this weekend? Fill me in. Tell me what's happening, what's going on. Willie, hi, Willie. Willie shares that he is here to enjoy love and life. You know I love it. Y'all know I love it. Harold said that the 20th anniversary celebration was fantastic. You know what? I share that sentiment. I had so much fun. I know you've all probably been talking about it all day, but I wasn't a part of that conversation, so I want to know. I don't want to be left out. I don't want to be left out. But I do want to share that I just really had a ball. Just, just socializing with everybody. Just I mean, it was just so much fun. You know how it is. We talk on the air, but seeing one another in person, being able to just get a hug and just love on each other in person, it's just a different feeling, just really a different feeling. And Miss Diane, hi there, beautiful, she's checking in. She says, I know you sung your heart out. I did my best, Miss Diane. I surely did. I did my best. Leonard is checking in. Hi, Leonard Dockery. Kimmy, I know that's right. And Miss Julie, hi, Miss Julie. She shares, for those who cannot quite express how they're feeling about the world we live in and the emotions that have us in knots, they're two songs, both always from the heart. And they are Stevie Wonder's Where Is Our Love Song and Can't Put It in the Hands of Fate. Oh, wow. I thank you so much, Miss Julie. Yes, my love was reciprocated. I mean, it was just amazing, amazing, amazing. And she also extends heartfelt understanding to those who are in mourning. Yes, Ms. Diane shares that when I was talking about our family member who had a medical emergency, she shares that's very traumatic, but she's so glad to know that the person is doing better. Me too. I'm so glad to share that with you. When I checked over the weekend, it really lifted my spirits as well, because I wanted to be able to I wanted to be able to share that with you if in fact, that was the case. I wanted to be able to share some positive and good news with you and a positive outcome as well, because I know, everybody was wondering. So I'm glad. So Miss Julie shares that she spent Saturday in good company celebrating the living legends of the Tuskegee Airmen. Oh, Miss Julie, the life you lead. Shared photos of families and other veterans who continue to serve our community on Facebook. Oh, wow. I love that. And I would be terribly remiss if I did not recognize our veterans. I did not do so last week, and I feel shameful for not having done so. Please charge that to my head and not to my heart, because my very own father was a veteran. He is a veteran, but I value you all so much. So thank you so much for your service. Thank you. Thank you so much for your service. Nzenga, hi there, beautiful Nzenga Bay, the beautiful Nzenga Bay. She shares greetings. Today was a good day. I love that. Love that. Love that. Oh my goodness. And Frey is joining us. Hey, Frey, I've missed you. How have you been, beautiful? She shares good evening to all. To all. I love that. I love that. Yeah, family, we really had a great event on Friday. But you know how it is when you are in the company of family, friends, and loved ones. It's just a different, it's just different. Just feels wonderful to be in the presence of love. And that's what it was. That's what I felt on Friday. So I didn't want it to end. I was talking with so many of you who said the same thing. I don't want tonight to end. I don't want it to end. I did not because we were just having so much fun. Nick, now family, I'm going to tell you, Nick wasn't able to join us in person because, he had to man the boat. And I'm so sorry that you were not able to do so, because we would have had a ball, Nick. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's all right. I have to say, it's funny enough hearing all the stories. I got to see Rhonda and David Barnes Saturday and Sunday, and the way they tell it, it sounds like I missed out on a lot, but I was having fun just listening to them because they
Oh,
both really enjoyed themselves.
I can only imagine the stories that you did hear, because when I tell you, listen, there were so many of our family members who had a lot of fun. So I can only imagine how they related to you.
Yeah, it was. It's interesting though. The only complaint that I've heard from the anniversary is that somebody called and said that there wasn't enough vegetarian options. But I only heard that from one person, and everybody else who I talked to said that the food was very good there too.
It was. It was. Now here I am. Now, mind you, family, I usually don't eat hours before I sing because I try to keep my pipes clean. But there was this pizza there. It was so good.
Was it like a
Well,
flatbread pizza?
it was, and it was in strips. Like they had it cut in strips, just like like cute little size.
Yeah.
I had 3 strips of it. I had 3 strips of it. It was so good. I kept going. Like I said, I'm just going to taste this because it just looks inviting. It's just calling me to it. And I had one, and I said, "Oh, that was really good." So I went back, and then I said, "Caroline, what are you doing? Like you're about to sing. You can't do this." And I sure did. I went back with the third piece. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And
I'm
I
not
ate.
surprised. The Fiddler Club has exceptionally good food. When I worked there, they fed us during like around 12 o'clock, lunch, and it wasn't just like they would get like random food. It was gourmet food that they were feeding to the staff, and it was always delicious. It was always delicious.
So then I had afterward, because normally I'll eat after I perform, and they were putting the food away. So one of the employees at the Fiddler Club, she said, she said, "Ms. Riddick," she said, what would you like? What would you like?" I said, "Oh my goodness, God bless you." I was so happy that she said, "Just tell me, just tell me." So there was this pasta dish. I don't know what kind of pasta this was, but it was delicious. I don't know what it was, pasta and like chicken or something. Look at that. I don't even know what I ate. All I know is that it was good. Okay. I just know it's good. That's sad. My mother would say, Wait a minute, what's wrong with you? You don't know what you ate?" No, Mom, I don't know what I ate, but I do know that it was good. I do know that. So I'm happy to report that. But Nick, you were missed. You really were. You
Yeah,
were.
quite a few people were bummed out that I wasn't gonna be there, and I was like, "Look, I gotta be at the station. Like somebody's got to be there."
Well, I was bummed out. Remember, I said, "Oh, I can't wait to hang with you on Friday." And you said, "Yeah, well, no, I won't be there." Like, wait, what? In my mind, everybody, all of the staff, everybody. Of course, it did not occur to me that someone had to be at the station. It was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, I know, I know. So, how was your weekend? How was your weekend?
My weekend was pretty good. I was working at Rivers. I was working over at Rivers Casino. I had to do a show with my dad. We were working for a sorority, a black sorority. I think they're the Deltas. They're red and white. Is that them?
Wait, see, oh, now don't
I
get me in
think I
trouble.
think it's
Nick,
look. I
don't
think
get
it's
me in
look. I,
trouble.
I went to Cheney. I'm supposed to know all of them. I'm not in none of them, so I
I
didn't. I
went to
wasn't keeping
Temple.
track.
I went to Temple. I know. I know. I didn't. I'm not Greek. I'm not a Greek. I don't know. Oh, family, we sound horrible. That is terrible. I didn't pledge either. I was too busy working at the radio station. Wow. Okay. So that sounds nice. So you worked all weekend.
I was working all weekend. I think we did that show. That was Sunday. Yeah, so we did that show Sunday. And I think that was from 2 o'clock until 5 o'clock. And they had a live music, of course. It was a jazz band. I cannot remember any of the performers or anybody in the band, but they were very happy that, you know, we were there to help them out with that. And I think that going forward, that's going to be a potential client for us. So I was
Nice.
happy to be there and
Well,
listen to some good music and get some free food. You know, that's
well,
what I care
Nick, you better find out what sorority that is. Oh, it was the Delta Sigma
Yeah,
Theta
Deltas.
Jazz Brunch. Oh, nice. Oh, you had
Yeah.
a good time.
Yeah. As soon as I was done working at the station, I just walked right over to the casino, and it was
Oh, yeah,
a
you
good
sure
time.
did. You took 10 little steps and you're like, okay, I'm here. Nice, nice. I've never been in the casino. I was in the event space twice, but I've never been in that casino. I should just go walk around one day, just look at it. But I'm not a big gambler, but the event space, I do like the event space. I do. It was very nice.
Yeah, I've
Oh,
certainly seen more of that event space than the actual casino.
yeah, yeah. Well, and you know what? The one thing I do like though is that you do not have to go through the casino to access the event space. So that the main reason I've never seen the casino itself. That's so funny. Oh my goodness. So look, some more of our family members are checking in, Nick. Miss Lily shares that she's working on decluttering her house. When I tell you, Miss Lily, I did the same thing just about 3 weeks ago. She said that she's discarding items that she has not worn in 20 years. Miss Lily, get out of my head. I did the same thing. I did the same thing. Okay. Same thing. Lord, heavens to Murgatroyd. Yes, I'm with you on that. That's a task. Miss Diane shares that my husband was at the center in the park senior center, and a gentleman walked over to him, sat next to him. He happened to be one of the Tuskegee Airmen. Are you kidding me? Mr. Eugene Richardson. She shares that she met him a while ago too, but he comes to the senior center to speak about his experiences. Miss Diane, please, 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 the next time you talk with him, can you get his information from me, please? Because I would love to have him come and talk with us and share with us. Oh my goodness, I would love that. Please, please, please. Malcolm shares, sorry I couldn't make it to the celebration, but from what I saw in the videos posted, it looked like a ball. It's LOL. Were the drinks flowing? You know what, Malcolm? Yeah, they were. There was an open bar, so some of our family members um, took advantage of that. As they should look. They should enjoy themselves. Ms. Joanne shares, good evening, good evening, good evening. Oh, her 88-year-old father came to see her on Saturday and Sunday. She went to her class of 72 alumni mass, then to Molefe Kete Asante Institute, and the last stop was Whole Food Market. Nice. A few people sent beautiful pictures, videos of the 20th anniversary at the Fiddlers Club, and she enjoyed them immensely. You know what? I love that. You had a full weekend. That was wonderful, wonderful. Oh, Ruben shares. Ruben, hi there, Ruben. Ruben Mills is checking in and shares that Sherry Butler performed. Sherry Butler is our beloved. I love her. Do you hear me? Love, love, love her. That's one of my boops. Oh my goodness. And yeah, well, how about everybody's saying they're doing the same thing? Ms. Diane says she has so much stuff. She's doing the same thing. Joanne says she did that a while ago, and she swears some of those things grew back. Listen. The same here, because I had space for about 2 days, and now I have no space. I said, did everything I gave away come back? But it did. It did. It did. Oh my goodness. Eric is checking in. Hi there, Eric. Just Rick, just Rick. He shares that he got an early view of the holiday vendors right near City Hall. It was chilly, but it was great to see all of the unique items for sale. I've never indulged. I have to go out there. It's a great Philly tourist spot. I really do have to check it out. I have never, ever, ever been. And I know they do it every year. I know they do it every year. Ms. Diane shares that Rivers has some delicious food in some of their restaurants. See, I didn't even know there were. I've got to go check out Rivers. I really do. I really do. And Harold shares that yes, the open bar was flowing. He shares that he was grooving. Harold, I'm still going to look. You see me? I'm gonna get you. How come we didn't take our picture? What happened to our picture? I don't. You know what? You know what? I'm going to get you, family. Here we are once again, Monday, November 13th. You are tuned in to Love and Life right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. Listen, the phone lines are still open. Yes, they are. And I do want to hear from you. And you also know that you can continue to comment on our socials. But whatever you do, don't leave us. Stay with us because we will be right back.
And now,
in the midst of challenging times, our Black spaces, our voices, and our stories are under attack. Our goal? To reach 2,000 members by the end of the year. We need your support now more than ever. Word Radio has been your trusted source for Black talk media for 20 years, and we want to continue making history for another 20. This is urgent, and the time to act is now. Help us move forward and up to reach our goal. Visit wordradio.com and join the movement. Let's stand together. Let's make a difference. Go to wordradio.com and become a member today.
King C. Gillette knows you're dedicated to your barbershop routine. But what about after? What's your routine for facial hair to avoid dry skin, itching, and beard rough? Well, the King C. Gillette Beard Oil is a perfect fit for making your beard feel as good as it looks. It softens your facial hair and moisturizes to help prevent itch due to dry skin. Get facial hair that feels as good as it looks. Just trim, wash, and soften with King C. Gillette.
No young person should ever have to worry about having a safe place to sleep at night, or a warm meal to eat, or whether anyone cares about them.
But the reality is, 1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
But the good news is, there's an organization making a big difference. Covenant House.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis and giving them the support and the tools they need to succeed in life.
I have no words to express how Covenant House changed my life. They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding.
When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, and love, most of all love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges, and their lives are transformed.
Covenant House is changing the lives of young people in cities across America.
To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today. Thank you for caring.
What is love?
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
I think I know what love is.
Well, hello there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life right here on WURD with yours truly, Carol Riddick. We are talking, we're just catching up, quite honestly. I started the conversation about what I had done over the weekend, and we started with the 20th anniversary celebration. When I tell y'all I had so much fun. Now, of course, let me share this because I'm not really a drinker. I'm a lightweight. I just can't. I can't drink. So I had a ball just seeing everybody and enjoying everybody. But I did enjoy watching some of our family members who indulged, who had a great time, and they were just the animation alone. It was just so much fun. So much fun. Just so much fun. Ms. Diane shares that the next time he goes to the center, she is going to ask him, well, you know what? Let me start from the beginning. What she did share is that there's a gentleman that walked over to her husband and sat down next to him, and he happened to be one of the Tuskegee Airmen, Mr. Eugene Richardson, to be exact. And I asked her if she could get his information the next time they see him, and she shares that she's going to ask him about that. She shares that he was born in 1925. please, 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 I would just love to talk with him. I would love to talk with him. I would love to meet him, but just to talk with him. Just the thought is amazing to me. Just the thought. And Wayne, hi there, Wayne. Wayne Green is joining us, and he shares that. Oh, thank you. He's a big fan. Thank you, Wayne. He shares he's a big fan, and please never change. Well, you know what, Wayne? You keep me in prayer because I don't have any desire to be anybody other than who I am right now. And just pray for me. That's all I ask. Keep me in prayer. I'm praying for you. So pray for me too, okay? Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, family, I also shared with you that I went to see Gladys Knight on last night. I was about to say on Sunday. Look at me, I'm losing my days. Last night at NJ Pack. I don't know if you've seen her live. I don't know if you have, but when I tell you, oh, okay, there are 3 artists who are still living now that mesmerize me when I see them perform. And that's Stevie Wonder, Patti LaBelle, Aunt Patty, and Gladys Knight. When I tell you, you can't, there's nothing you can say to me about those 3 human beings. Nothing. Well, and this was not my first time seeing Aunt Gladys, but every time I see Gladys Knight perform, for me, it feels like the first time. It feels like the very first time. And she sounds amazing. She sounds absolutely amazing. Just vocals were so pristine and crisp and clear. And they sounded just like the original recordings. I was sitting there in awe, just in awe of her. And she's so beautiful. She's stunningly beautiful. They both are. She and Aunt Patty, they are stunningly beautiful. And just beautiful inside and out, just the both of them, which amazes me. But I shouldn't say that it amazes me, but they just really are. That's the truth of it all. But I went to see Aunt Gladys. I went to see Gladys Knight, and she had an opener. Oh my goodness, Caroline Riddick. How could you not? His name was DeVell Crawford. Family, I don't know if you know him, if you know of him. Well, how about you know of him now? He was phenomenal. He was so anointed. He really, really was. It was a great show. It was a great experience, and he sat there and played piano, just him and the piano. Just him and the piano. And we all sang with him. We danced. We had such a good time last night. I think we laughed, we cried, we prayed. We did it all in one show. We did it all. Now that's when it's a great show. When you can laugh, cry, and pray. That's when it's a great show. So that was what happened last night at New Jersey Performing Arts Center. And got to see our beloved Christian McBride because he introduced them. He brought DeVell Crawford. He brought DeVell Crawford onto the stage. He introduced them. So it just felt, it just really felt awesome. Oh my goodness. Miss Diane shares, lucky you to see Gladys Knight. Let me tell you, I received that. I feel so blessed. She shares, she always loved her. Amazing talent. Yes. Really, really, really. And Miss Joanne says you had a yes, Miss Joanne, I'm telling you, it was such an emotional weekend for me. I was so up and down all weekend. Let me tell you something. I don't believe I'm about to share this with you all. But today, I was talking to my BFF. I was talking to her earlier today, and I broke down. I started crying. Y'all, first of all, I'm very, very sensitive. I'm a very emotional woman. But I have no problem with that. I'm not saying that for that reason. But I was telling you that I just broke down. I broke down. And then in the midst of it, something was funny to me, and I started laughing. I said, "Oh my goodness, what is happening to me?" I went from crying to laughing in a split second. just so much emotion to process this weekend. Really, really, really. I mean, when I tell you I was overcome and overjoyed on Friday with all the love in the room and the shared experience we all had, that stayed with me the entire weekend. And then on Saturday to have gone to perform and be able to do, once again, what I love to do, but also what I'm blessed to do. Um, and I don't ever, 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 ever take it for granted. I just don't ever. I don't ever. And then on Sunday to just be in the presence of greatness, just the both of them. Devell Crawford, I think his name is spelled Davell, Davell Crawford. Him and Gladys Knight. And then today, of course, I was sharing that just a flood of all emotions because we said farewell to our beloved Azell Dixon this morning. But just it was an awesome weekend. It really was. I got to give praise every single day. Well, I do it every day anyway, all day. But just with in the presence of friends and family. So it was just a wonderful thing. It really, really was. Woo, family, family, family. Listen, for those of you who are just joining us, you are tuned in to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. I've been talking in this first hour anyway. I've been talking just about life. Just about life. No news stories. No, not they're just about life. And our weekend, we've all been sharing about what we did over the weekend and the time we had. But don't fret. We do have a guest in the second hour. I won't bore you all with with my shenanigans. I won't do that. But we do have a guest in our second hour that and we're going to talk about some really interesting things in that hour. But I'm glad to know from what I'm reading and from what I've heard thus far that you all had a good weekend. You all enjoyed your weekend as well. You all had a good time. I was looking for Brother Nasir because I wanted to hear all about Diane Reeves. I wanted to know about his experience at that show. He said that Diane, he was going to see Diane Reeves. I couldn't wait. Y'all see, I remembered that. And I can't remember anything. I can't remember anything. Wayne shares that show must have been awesome. It was. And he's asking if I'm doing a Christmas show this year. Yes, I am. I sure am. What am I doing? I'm doing my residency at South this year. I believe it's December 15th, 16th, and 17th. I'm doing my Christmas residency at South. And then on December 2nd, I'm doing the Nina Simone tribute with Gerald Beasley. And then I'm going to do support with Will Downing in Collingswood on December 2nd. Yeah, December 2nd. I'm all over the place. December 2nd. So December 2nd with Gerald Beasley and Will Downing. And then my show, my Christmas show on December 15th, 16th, and 17th at South. I'm hoping you all will join us. We could have some fun this holiday season. You all know that I look forward to spending time with you during the holidays because for me, the holidays were always about my parents. And now that I no longer have them with me in the physical, I lean on you all. I really do. I so do. I lean on you all to get me through the holidays. So I'm looking forward to hanging out with all of you this holiday season. Eric is sharing that the artists who are on his bucket list are Diana Ross, Gladys Knight, Patti LaBelle, of course, and the incredible Miss Regina Bell. Oh my goodness. Those are some good choices, Eric. Those are some really good choices. Listen, family, as I was sharing with you a moment ago, we have a very interesting guest coming up in our second hour. In a minute, we're going to take just a short commercial break. But before we do, I'm going to share with you that Miss Joanne shares good old overjoyed. She says, I'd like to come see you. I love that you do. And I want you to come see me and hang out with me. And she shares that Will Downing has always been her favorite. He's one of my faves too. Craig Williams is joining us and he's sending love to everybody. and we receive it. We surely do. We surely do. Family, listen, we're going to go to commercial break, but know that the phone lines are still open, and feel free to continue to comment on our socials. But stay with us, though, because we're coming right back.
It's the WURD Hot 6 Hot 60. Here's the hottest 60 seconds you missed this week on Evening Words.
What do you say to folks who are becoming less, if anything, supportive of Israel and more concerned about the murder and tragedy that's going on in Gaza right now?
I think one of the most important things to remember about the Israel and Palestinian situation is this has been going on for a long time. There has been discord. Israel was attacked by all her surrounding neighbors and has been at war pretty much for 70 years. There's a lot of ignorance around the conflict. People don't really understand what's going on. But what I can tell you is that just because you're pro-Israel doesn't mean you're anti-Palestinian. You can support the self-determination of the Palestinian people and yet reject Hamas and their terrorism that they inflict not only on the Palestinian people, because Palestinians are the greatest victims of Hamas's terrorism, but also on the Israelis. I mean, on October 7th, they essentially had what will equate to their 9/11. On 9/11, we lost about 3,400 people were killed in New York City. And if you take the population of Israel, which is almost 9 million, and they lost about 1,400 by a percentage, that's equivalent to us losing 40,000 people in a terrorist attack. If Cuba came into Key West and murdered 40,000 people, what would the United States be doing to Cuba right now?
And that's your hottest 60 seconds this week from Evening Words on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Supporting WURD, Lantern Theater Company presents Crumbs from the Table of Joy by Pulitzer Prize playwright Lynn Nottage. Moving from the South to Brooklyn, the Crump family is making a fresh start in a world full of temptation and surprises. The two brilliant daughters resent their father's religious strictures, while their big dream for the future are encouraged by their fearless, free-thinking Aunt Lily. In performance through December 10th. Details at lanterntheater.org.
Tune into WURD Radio this Thursday at 10 a.m. for City Council Live, hosted by Ernest Owens. Join conversations that matter to your community with your local City Council members.
And we're live here outside the Perez family home, just waiting for and there they go. Almost on time this morning. Mom is coming out the front door strong with a double-arm kid carry. Looks like Dad has the bags. Daughter is bringing up the rear. But the diaper bag wasn't closed. Diapers and toys are everywhere. Ooh, but Mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in the booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like Mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car. And there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fam favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
WURD is happy to provide our listeners with the opportunity to participate in contests and win prizes. This is a reminder of our contest rules. All participants must be 18 years of age or older, depending on the contest. Persons may win only one prize from the radio station per contest for every 30-day period. Some contests might also specify one winner per household or company. Prizes must be claimed within 14 days or by 12 noon the day before the event, whichever is sooner, and must be accepted as is or forfeited. The radio station employees and their immediate relatives, sponsor employees and their immediate relatives, live remote sponsor employees and their immediate relatives, and any other media employees are ineligible to win the prize. Thank you for participating and for listening to WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. Celebrating 20 years of progressive Black Talk Media. This is WURD, 900 AM and 96.1 FM. Philadelphia, streaming online at wordradio.com and the WURD Radio app.
What is love?
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
I think I know what love is.
Well, hello there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD. Welcome to the top of the second hour of Love and Life. That is, the first hour went by so quickly, didn't it? Just went by so quickly. I do want to share with you that our family member, Gary Bryant, is checking in. Hi there, brother Gary. So nice to have you join us. And Craig shares that he's going to check with his queen to see if they can make my holiday show at South. I would love that. He shares that they simply love holiday music, be it jazz, R&B, smooth jazz, whatever. Well, you know what? I will be happy to have your company. So I hope that you can make it. I truly, truly do. Family, I have some housekeeping items to share with you. The first of which is WURD Radio is sharing a harvest for the world. Now through December 31st, visit wordradio.com to find information on upcoming give back events in the Philadelphia area. If your organization is hosting free clothing giveaways, food drives, free workshops, community dinners, and more, please share the details using the form on our website. Visit wordradio.com/the harvest and look for the harvest banner. It is harvest time, family, and we are sharing information on those giving back to the community. The harvest is brought to you by Comcast, Pico, Keystone First, and the United Way. We are WURD, family, progressive Black talk media. And I also want to remind you that we need the support from our family members. We need the support from our community specifically. That is, our Forward and Up campaign has an unprecedented goal for WURD Radio to recruit 2,000 members of the Forward movement. Now, I keep telling you this because I want you to know it. You hear me? I believe in WURD. And because you are listening, I happen to believe that you do too. So if you're not already a member of the Forward movement, well, family, now is the time. Just go to wordradio.com and click on membership. It's right there at the top of the page. Can't miss it. Help us to reach our goal of 2,000 members in our 20th year of Black Talk Media. Now, family, I told you that I have an interesting guest that I want you to meet. Well, she is just that. She's phenomenal, actually. She is a triple board certified internal medicine, lifestyle medicine, and obesity medicine physician. She shares that she's most passionate about empowering her patients to achieve optimal health and wellness. And she enjoys fostering a collaborative relationship with her patients. Now, last week, remember, we were talking about that bedside manner and how some physicians lack that. Well, guess what? She completed her internal medicine residency in 2014 at Temple University Hospital in Philadelphia and was awarded Most Outstanding Third-Year Resident in Outpatient Care. I'm telling you, when I tell you, I said, I'm just so impressed with her. I'm so impressed with her that I want you to meet her. She also began her primary care journey in Richmond, Virginia, where in 2017, she received a Best Bedside Manner Award by a local health magazine. Family, I invite you to the conversation with none other than Dr. Kimberly Rogers. Well, hello there, beautiful. How are you?
Hello there, Carol. Thank you so much for having me and for such a wonderful intro. I didn't deserve that, but
No, yes, you do. I said, oh my goodness. Family, I was reading the information that was shared with me about you. And I said, oh my goodness. Well, I can't wait to talk with her. I just can't wait to talk with her. So I'm excited to have you. Number one, because I'm so interested in what you do specifically.
Mhm.
Now, I know, now, family, I'm going to share with you because we had a subject matter chosen about which to discuss, but y'all know I'm all over the place. I want to talk more about your specialty. We're going to jump and dip into
Talk
that
about
too.
whatever you
Look
want.
at that. I love it. I love it. I love it. So, what does it mean? What does lifestyle medicine mean? What does that mean?
Mhm. So I am by training a primary care internal medicine physician, but I realize, that in traditional medicine, we don't learn enough about how to prevent things. We learn about how to treat things. And so lifestyle medicine is a field of medicine that is all about evidence-based therapeutic lifestyle modifications in the treatment, reversal, and prevention of chronic disease. So we're talking about, nutrition, physical activity, sleep, stress, evaluating all of those different factors when it comes to assessing and helping patients to be as healthy as they can be. And so it's a very evidence-based way of being able to do that. And I say therapeutic because, a lot of times people will say that they just get very superficial advice when it comes to, eat less, move more, see a dietitian, whatever. But when it comes to lifestyle medicine, it really is very kind of in-depth root cause, getting to the bottom of it. And just the same way how you can get a prescription for a medication, you can get a prescription for, a lifestyle modification. So that can kind of help you to really get the health optimized.
A lifestyle modification. I like the way that sounds. Could you give us even one example of what that might be? A prescription for a lifestyle modification.
Yeah. So, for example, if I am having a discussion about nutrition with my patients, I'm not just going to say, look, just, try to eat more fruits and vegetables. I might have a specific goal. I might say, aim for, 30 grams of fiber a day, aim for 6 to 8 servings of fruits, vegetables, and whole grains a day, because we know per the evidence that Americans only eat half the amount of fiber that we should, and know that these things really impact health. So instead of just giving generic advice, we can give very targeted advice. So that could be a lifestyle modification is aim for 30 grams of fiber a day. Aim for 30 minutes of moderate intensity exercise, including 15 minutes of resistance training a day. So that's what I'm talking about.
Oh my goodness. So you're a nutritionist as well. You're
Well,
like
so
it's all under the umbrella.
I don't want to call myself a nutritionist or a dietitian, but I will say
Okay.
that with lifestyle medicine, I feel a lot more comfortable having that conversation because a lot of people will come into the doctor and they expect that kind of advice and then they don't get that. And again, in med school and residency, we probably did a few hours of nutrition education. So, the average physician probably isn't going to be able to do that in depth of a conversation because I certainly wasn't until I kind of educated myself a little bit more.
OMG. I'm just reading your specialties. I'm thinking, heavens to Murgatroyd, does she sleep? You can't possibly sleep. You're triple board certified. I said, she doesn't sleep. She doesn't.
Well, I try.
So
Sleep is important. Okay.
it is. Yes, it is. So, and I want to make sure I have the best understanding. What
Mhm.
exactly is internal medicine?
So internal medicine is a specialty. You do 4 years of medical school, and then you can become an internal medicine physician. So that's all about the human body, kind of general medicine. So when you talk about a primary care doctor or like a doctor in hospital medicine, internal medicine is really like the foundation of medicine. So that's where you learn about all the organ systems, the pathophysiology and the treatment of that. So what I did, I knew I wanted to go into primary care. I chose internal medicine versus, let's say, family medicine. Family medicine is also a 3-year residency in family medicine. It also includes, pediatrics and includes obstetrics. So I, felt like I wanted to focus more on just adults, non-pregnant adults. So internal medicine is that. Now, after that residency, I could have opted to subspecialize. So if you want to be, a cardiologist or a gastroenterologist, one of those type of subspecialists, you have to do internal medicine first and then do extra fellowship. I did not do an extra fellowship in those things because I love primary care, and I want to be, you know, that person that knows a little bit about everything. And so that's pretty much what internal medicine is about.
I was laughing. I was thinking you must be a Scorpio because that's we want to know a little bit about everything.
I'm an Aquarius, actually.
That's my mother. Oh my god, that's my mother. Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. And she too. We were both alike in that. But my mother, I feel like she did know a little bit about everything. So I think she did.
Mom's always
So listen. Well,
Mhm.
knowledge is power, right? Knowledge is power. That's
Right.
what that listen, I received that. So how about when I was reading, and your third certification is in obesity medicine.
Mhm.
I I'm not even familiar with that term. I never heard that reference before. What
Okay.
is obesity medicine?
So, as we all know, unfortunately, the rate of obesity is rising in the
Yes.
world, in America, and we know that obesity is the number one risk factor for, I mean, so many different things. So, obesity medicine is a specialization where we're focusing specifically on managing that. So I think what we also realized that in med school and residency, we have to learn so much. But
Mhm.
I think that when it comes to, again, prevention and treatment, the being able to tackle obesity, which is a chronic disease that is extremely complicated, is just
Mhm.
something that most of us just don't know how to do. And so this field of obesity medicine was developed to really help people get more of an in-depth knowledge, specifically in helping people understand why we have excess weight and kind of how to fix that. And so that, you know, was an extra certification that I felt really compelled to learn more about, because, you know, when I went out in the real world and I'm realizing that, oh my God, all these chronic diseases, they're root causes, and I just didn't feel equipped to be able to tackle those root
Mhm.
causes with patients. And so I started off with the lifestyle medicine. Now, lifestyle medicine is obviously really important, even when it comes to tackling, you know, obesity and overweight. But when it comes to obesity medicine, that kind of gives even more of an extra bit of education, especially when it comes to when you're talking about medication. So, you know,
Mm.
everybody's hearing about all the Ozempic and the Wegovy, and now they came out with Zepbound, and you know, and a lot of doctors might not feel comfortable with those medications because it does take
Mhm.
some extra knowledge and understanding on how to deal with that. And so that was something that I felt compelled to do as part of my kind of more like holistic, comprehensive management. So that's where that
Wow.
came in.
Again, I know you do not sleep. Now it's been confirmed for me. But you know, to your point, yeah, I've been hearing the term Ozempic diet because I hear that there are
Mhm.
there's just so much the conversation about Ozempic. Well, first of all, I had not my knowledge. Well, I don't have any knowledge of Ozempic. I'll say that the
Mhm.
only experience I'd had with knowing anything about it was the commercial,
Yeah.
and I would sing it. It's just so catchy. You sing it when it comes on,
Oh,
and that was it. That
uh,
was it. And then it felt like out of nowhere, I saw this flood of posts from people talking, and that was what they were calling it, and that's how
mhm.
it. So I have not done any research on it. I know nothing about what they're talking about, but my understanding is that people are losing weight that take it. That's the understanding that I have.
Yeah, I mean, that is a topic in and of itself, but I would just say that when it comes to obesity management, there's a huge market for medications to assist with that. And
Mhm.
Ozempic specifically has actually been out for a long time. It's actually been out as treatment for diabetes. So the
Mhm.
generic name is semaglutide, and then a few years ago they came out with Wegovy, which is actually the exact same medication, but is marketed and FDA approved for weight management. But then for some reason, I don't know why, Ozempic is the one that people hear about, whereas that's not the one that's FDA approved for weight loss. But anyway,
Thank you for that. Thank you for
it's just
family. Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
because again, it's the same exact medication as Wegovy, and you have to play that game of like, what does your insurance cover and what doesn't it? And some people, who have who suffer from obesity also have diabetes as a
Mhm.
result, and so people go on Ozempic for both of those things. But there are so many medications out there, but this class of medication is relatively new. These kind of injectable weight loss medications, and they have had really, really good results. The way that they work is different to other weight loss medications. And
Sure.
now, just last week, the FDA approved another medication. So now the world is in a tizzy about, Zepbound, which is yet another medication have to, and Mounjaro. So there's a lot of conversation in the weight loss world. And what I always like to say is this. Unfortunately, I used to be very anti-medication when it came to weight loss because
Mhm.
I feel like some people can kind of over rely on medications, and then once you come off those meds, everything goes right back to where you started, and
Right.
medications have side effects, right? But I do also recognize that, you see those patients that they eat healthy, they exercise,
Mhm.
they can't lose weight even, no matter what they do. And
Mhm.
that's to let you know how complicated weight loss is. It's not just, how many calories you put in, how much exercise you do. There's so many factors like hormones, age, brain signaling chemicals, stress, like lack of
Mhm.
sleep. There's so many things that impacted chemicals in your environment that can impact obesity. And so I realized that we weren't really doing patients a favor by not offering those medications the same way if somebody had high blood pressure, no matter how
Mm.
little bit of salt that they ate, you're going to offer them a blood pressure medication. And you're also going to work on trying to, diet and exercise more and all of those things. But I have more of a comprehensive approach now. So I do offer those medications if they're available, if patients qualify for them, if insurance covers it, because
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of ifs going on, right? But
Mhm.
it's just one of the tools in the toolbox, but it's not the only tool in the toolbox.
Thank you for that clarity. Quite honestly, thank you so much for that. Family, I do want to share that our family members are continuing to check in. Joey Dixon is sending love to the entire family. Joey, we received that and we're happy to have you join us. Ms. Diane shares, good evening, doctor. My friend was just prescribed Ozempic. I'm so glad I'm listening tonight.
Thank
Um,
you.
and then she apologizes because she said, "Sorry, Dr. Rogers." She didn't hear your name at first. So, Dr. Rogers. Eric is joining us, as I shared earlier, and he shares, "Good evening, Dr. Rogers. Eric here. I think your specific approach to health and wellness is truly outstanding. To counsel your patient's specific needs case by case is true dedication. Keep on keeping on." I
Thank
love
you
it. I
so
love
much.
it. We're love bugs here. I should tell you that, Dr.
I
Rogers.
love
We
the
are
show.
love bugs.
It's just a big hug.
Oh, thank you. Because that's what we are, right, family? That's what we do. We love up on each other.
Mhm.
Um, uh, Family, for those of you who have just tuned in, you are tuned in to Love and Life right here on WURD with yours truly, Carol Riddick. We are talking with Dr. Kimberly Rogers, and we're talking about so many facets of medicine and the field of medicine. And quite honestly, we're talking about everything in her wheelhouse, which is a lot. Okay. But I'm going to shift gears when we come back from the commercial break. But in the meantime, know that the phone lines are still open and feel free to continue to comment on our socials. And I promise you, I'll do my best to read your comment on the air. But whatever you do, don't leave us, okay? Because we're coming right back.
Stay politically minded and informed with the Black Women's Leadership Council. Fridays, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on WURD, 900 a.m. and 96.1 FM. Progressive Black Talk Media. Streaming online at wordradio.com, on social, and on the Word Radio app.
As we age, so does our brain. Some changes in our thinking, like taking longer to recall information, word finding, and greater difficulty with multitasking, are normal parts of aging. But not all changes with thinking and memory as we get older are normal. For example, vocabulary, greater understanding of meaning of words, and reading often remain unchanged or improve as we age. These kinds of changes as we age could be indicators of mild cognitive impairment, dementia, or Alzheimer's disease. At the Penn Memory Center, we often say, what's good for your heart is good for your brain. Research has shown that engaging in a healthy lifestyle can maintain and even improve brain health. Physical exercise, a heart-healthy diet, limiting alcohol intake, getting good sleep, mood management, and staying socially and mentally active can all optimize brain health. Interested in learning more about healthy brain aging? Check out our education and support resources for healthy brain aging at pennmemorycenter.org. At Penn Medicine, our mission is to improve the health of people we serve.
Hi, this is Christina Ricci with RAIN. Join RAIN in the fight against sexual violence and volunteer in your community. Log on to RAIN.org, that's RAINN.org, to learn how you can be the someone.
Brought to you by Rain and this station.
Let me tell you something, and don't you ever forget it. Success is nothing without someone you love to share it with.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hey there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD. We are talking with Dr. Kimberly Rogers, and she is educating us tonight. Okay. As I was sharing before the commercial break, that I was going to pivot when we return, and I'm going to do so because we had agreed to talk about a totally different subject matter, and I definitely want to ask at least one or two questions about that subject matter as well. So family, just sharing with you so that you know, because that's what we do, we share. So we, Dr. Rogers and I, had agreed to talk about some of the best practices for women with regard to proper maintenance of vaginal health and reproductive health and things of that nature. So I do want to ask a few questions. And because I feel like we need to know. We definitely need to know. So Dr. Rogers, thank you. What are some of the things that you believe women, particularly women of color, should be cognizant of when practicing or trying to making an effort to maintain their reproductive health?
That is, I mean, I really kind of struggled with trying to pinpoint the answer to that question because it's so all encompassing. But I think the big thing that I always want to emphasize, especially in the Black community, is that, I mean, we all know that the healthcare disparities exist in all kinds of fields, but especially in female sexual and reproductive health. When you look at the statistics, Black women have a higher rate of so many different issues like fibroids, like infertility. We have issues with barriers to birth, barriers to getting access to birth control, higher maternal mortality. So we know that Black women are 3 times more likely to have a complication or risk of death after having a baby. So I say all of these things not to be scary, but to really just kind of have people understand that when it comes to sexual and reproductive health, we have to kind of fight a little bit harder to get the care that we deserve as Black women. And we have to be aware that for lots of different reasons, systemic barriers, structural racism, poor access, mistrust of the healthcare system, that a lot of us are having complications, and unfortunately, I see this all the time as a primary care doctor. So, in primary care, we do a lot of women's health. I'm not a gynecologist, but I certainly am, the forefront when it comes to helping women with their screenings, with their, pap smears. They come in when they're having some, sexual dysfunction, and then, they can see GYN if they need anything extra. But I just want women to understand that prevention is important. And so, there's a statistic that Black women are twice as likely to die of cervical cancer than white women. And cervical cancer is one of the few cancers out there that can actually be screened for with pap smears. And so I feel like in this day and age, we shouldn't have anybody dying from cervical cancer, because there is an easy test that's out there that can help pick up on things before it becomes cervical cancer. We know that breast cancer, 1 out of 8 women are going to get that. We know that Black women are actually more likely to be diagnosed at a later stage and have more a risk of death than white women. Why is that? So I am all about really advocating for screening. We really should be on top of our screenings. We should be getting mammograms every year after age 40, between 40 and 75. We should be getting our pap smears. We really should be on top of all of our screening. And then when it comes to having issues addressed, I think that that's also such an important topic, because I have so many women that they'll say, I've been suffering for years with, pain and heavy bleeding, and I have fibroids, has addressed it. And Black women, for whatever reason, have a much higher rate of fibroids, PCOS, and all kinds of other stuff.
As you say that, and I've heard this, we hear it repeatedly. We hear this, so often. And one thing that I've always struggled with is the history of Henrietta Lacks's cells. We know that the cells of a Black woman were used and are pretty much at the root of a lot of medical practices. I struggle with understanding how we as Black people, particularly Black women, could have so many issues, and how the statistics could be so higher with us for so many damaging issues, when the ellipsis, I should like when, with I don't understand that, because so it makes me feel it. Of course, makes me feel, my understanding as I process it is that, we're targeted. And when that's how I process it. And now, mind you, family, let me say this, because Dr. Rogers is not saying this. Carol Riddick is saying this because of my own understanding of the history of medicine. And I have very little, knowledge of the history of medicine. But what I do know is that Henrietta Lacks's cells were used. So I struggle with understanding how, with all of the advancements in medicine, we've not been able to do better. Because I feel like by now we should know better. How come we are not doing better? But I'm not tasking you with I don't even, I'm just sharing.
I wish if I had the answer to that question, I think, I don't know, I would be probably very rich somewhere. But I think that there's studies upon studies upon studies being done, just trying to understand what is the reason, what is the root cause? Is it lack of access? Is it that with Black women are not going in to see the doctor as often? Is it that their concerns are being dismissed? Is it all of the above? I mean, obviously, we know in this country that there is a fundamental kind of mistrust in the system. I mean, we all know about the Tuskegee experiment and all, Henrietta Lacks and everything. And I think that that a lot of times that leads to just a general mistrust, and whether that mistrust is warranted in this day and age or not that's part of the question. But what I will say is at the end of the day, we have to, on a structural level, on a systemic level, advocate for Black women, and on an individual level, Black women also need to advocate for each other and for themselves. And so the only thing I can talk about is, for women, just making sure that you're on top of your health. Like if you go in and you're trying to get your screenings and somebody is denying them, that's one thing. If we're not even, going in for your screenings or for your checkups, then we have to have a conversation about like what's going on there, because there are a
Right.
lot of things. I see way too many misdiagnoses, way too many laws to follow up, and there's a whole lot of reasons for that. So I try to focus on like, look, what can we control here? We can't control racism. We can control, I have a problem, I'm going to go in to see a doctor. If my doctor is not or is not giving me the answers that I want, I'm going to go get a second opinion. I'm going to, try to find somebody that can kind of help me. But I think education is key to that. And that's kind of what I like to share, is just like that education and that knowledge. Because we don't know why, like there's studies and we just don't know why, but some interesting theories. A lot of it, some of it goes to, just in health in general. I don't know, there's been studies done that the micro aggressions and micro stresses that, marginalized communities get daily build up over time to just stress in the body. And that can also impact a lot of health conditions. Even it doesn't have anything to do with socioeconomic class. They've done studies. They thought, okay, maybe, working class people had more chronic disease. But then when you look at Black people, even when you correct for all of the things, highly educated people who have access, who have everything, they still have higher rates of all these chronic disease. And so like, why is that? It's very complicated, but stay on top of our health as much as possible. And
That's true.
Yeah.
One thing I will say, I am grateful to, at this day and age, to have doctors of color like yourselves, because I will say, so I now have an OBGYN who is a Black woman. I learned some things about my own body from her just through conversation that I learned in the more recent past, which was shocking to me, that I could be this age and just learn these things about my own body. But it was because I was speaking with her and she was talking with me about our bodies.
Yeah.
And that was so helpful to me. It was so helpful to me, but it was enlightening as well. So I am grateful. So I do thank you. I thank you tremendously. Just know that I personally thank you. I thank you. I do want to take a moment to go to our socials. I see our family members are commenting. Erica Gunter, hello, beautiful. She shares, Dr. Rogers is my physician. Oh, wow. I have never experienced such amazing care. She listens, educates, and knows me. She's never afraid to check me with love, and she's always accessible. So if you are anywhere near Wilmington, Delaware, make the switch and treat yourself to her direct care. And she shares, I'll share her. That is listen. Well, Erica, listen, I'm over here thinking about doing so because I'm not far. I'm not far. And Eric, he shares, Dr. Rogers, do you find that many women may not want to share their delicate personal female health journey with their significant others and or immediate family members?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's sometimes not even with their doctors.
Oh, wow.
I mean, here's the thing. I think female health, of course, just the topic of sexual health and vaginas and all these things, there's a stigma around talking about these things, and you don't want to name, you have all these different terms for these body parts, and so a systemic, structural, like societal thing. But I do definitely find that even again with doctors, like for example, I have started to make it a habit of asking women questions that they wouldn't typically bring up themselves. Like I will ask questions like, are you experiencing any vaginal dryness, any urinary incontinence? Do you have, pain with intercourse? So like things that, a lot of times people don't even want to bring up to themselves, moreover to anybody else, moreover to sometimes not even to their doctor, or it takes a long time to develop that trust to be able to have that conversation. And then they get so relieved when you bring it up because they just wanted somebody to do it. But certainly, it's something that is a sensitive topic,
Sure.
and a lot of people will not bring it up to relevant, friends or loved ones or family members who might need to kind of know about what's going on with them. So I think that's just something we as society need to dispel that stigma.
Sure. Wow. Well, Miss Diane has a question. She asks, at what age do you stop having pap smears? She shares some doctors say you can stop having them at a certain age if your last 2 smears were normal. Is that accurate?
So as per the guidelines, after age 65, if you've had normal pap smears, you don't need pap smears anymore, because pap smears were screening specifically for cervical cancer. So if you have normal cells of your cervix and you do not have HPV and you've had normal paps, at age 65, the guidelines say that you can stop doing pap smears. Now, there's a difference between a pap smear and a pelvic exam, right? So a pelvic exam is when you go up there and you're looking and you're making sure everything looks good, and some doctors will argue that women should still be getting pelvic exams even after they don't need PAPs anymore, because sometimes you can pick up on things like pelvic organ prolapse or cervical polyps. And again, it's one of those things where women don't necessarily talk about issues that they're having. So maybe sometimes the same way how you do a physical exam of the rest of your body, doing a pelvic exam. Now, that's something that I leave up to my patients personally, because the guidelines do not necessarily support needing to do pelvic exams indefinitely. It's like on a case-by-case thing. So I'll have some women who are like, if I have a problem, I'll let you know. I don't need anybody doing pelvic exams anymore. And then I'll have some women who still want their yearly pelvic exams because they want to make sure like everything is okay. So it, it's on a, case by case.
I am she.
And that is totally okay too.
Just like, check her out. I call her my candy storage. I make sure all of my candy is good. Check her out. Check her out. Oh my goodness, family. See, I'll tell you my shenanigans, but you all are familiar. Dr. Rogers doesn't know my shenanigans, but
I'm learning and I love it.
Family, you are tuned in to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD. And we are talking with Dr. Rogers. And let me tell you, you all see that I've had questions about everything, okay? But she's just so patient with me, so I'm appreciative of her answers and her responding. Some of our family members have more questions, as a matter of fact. But what we're going to do right now, we're going to take just a short commercial break. I promise you it'll be short. And when we come back, I'm going to go back to our socials and see what you all are talking about so I can share that with Dr. Rogers. So stay with us, okay? Because we're coming right back.
And now,
in the midst of challenging times, our Black spaces, our voices, and our stories are under attack. Our goal? To reach 2,000 members by the end of the year. We need your support now more than ever. WURD Radio has been your trusted source for Black talk media for 20 years, and we want to continue making history for another 20. This is urgent, and the time to act is now. Help us move forward and up to reach our goal. Visit WURDradio.com and join the movement. Let's stand together. Let's make a difference. Go to WURDradio.com and become a member today.
WURD Radio Digital Tip of the Month is brought to you by Comcast.
With the cost of today's devices going up every year, you might want to think about buying a refurbished gadget for your next upgrade. Here are some things to think about before you buy. There is a difference between refurbished and open box. An open box gadget is usually still new, while refurbished devices have been repaired or restored in some way. Make sure you buy devices that were refurbished by the original manufacturer or have been factory certified. It might be a good idea to get a warranty in this case, otherwise you may fall victim to an as-is product that doesn't work. And finally, don't buy any refurbished electronics that don't come with some sort of return policy. You don't want to get stuck with a final sale that ends up dying after a week. Buying used can be a great way to save money while still getting a like-new device. Just make sure you do your homework first. Stay tuned to WURD for more tips and stay connected with us at wordradio.com.
For the longest time, it was hard for me to even get out of the house. It took me a bit to understand what was going on, but eventually I learned I had anxiety. Now I'm getting help for it.
Mental health care is working. See what it can do for you at mentalhealthcareworks.org.
What is love?
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
I think I know what love is.
Well, hey there, family. We are back. Welcome back to Love and Life with yours truly, right here on WURD. So I'm looking at the time, and I know we don't have a lot of time left. So what I'm going to do is go right on into the comments that our family members have left. Miss Shirley is joining us. Hi there, beautiful. She shares good evening. Well, good evening to you. We received that love. Ms. Diane shares, thank you, Dr. Rogers, for answering that question, because some of my lady friends took that to mean they don't have to do anything. They just stopped going. And listen, keep that. Listen, we don't want. No, let me keep on. Ms. Julie shares, Dr. Rogers, is there someone with whom you partner in Philadelphia, a GYN?
Well, I am right now in Wilmington, Delaware, and I don't have any other branches other than where I am in terms of GYNs in Philly. You know, I left Philly. I don't know if my personal GYN is still there, but if Dr. Sharon Abdul Rahman is still around, like that was my Black female GYN when I was in med school and residency. But I would say that, you know, I definitely am always looking to collaborate more with other GYNs. But I would say that in my area, since I'm kind of Wilmington, I kind of know more in my personal area. So in Philly, I'm not, you know, I don't have a whole big network there, unfortunately.
But we could look for Dr. Sharon Abdul Rahman. Was that?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
There. Look her up. She's wonderful.
I want to share that Ms. Rosalind is always checking in. Hi, Miss. Hi, beautiful. Hi, Miss. Always. Hi, beautiful. Hi, Miss Rosalind with us, and she's sharing just love with everybody. World peace and love to everybody. I do have one question that I've been anxious to ask. So, Dr. Rogers, from your experiences, are there any foods that we women can incorporate more in our diet to better help us with our vaginal and reproductive health? She
Yes.
used them.
I mean, so that I give the same answer anytime people are talking about like what's a healthy diet for everything. But yes, we do know that what we eat, what we put in our bodies affects things from every single standpoint, and also a vaginal and reproductive health standpoint. So there's lots of studies out there, data that is showing like, okay, let's give an example of again, fibroids, because in PCOS, because I like talking about that. We know that their increased risk of having those things being an issue in factors like poor diet, highly processed diet, if you are overweight, we know that those things can also impact those conditions. And then the reverse is true. So we know that a diet that is rich in whole food, plant-based, meaning, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, that's like real food, that is, anti-inflammatory, can really make a difference when it comes to everything, but also sexual and reproductive health. Because when it comes to a lot of these conditions, we know that hormonal imbalance is the root cause of a lot of them. So we know that, for example, high estrogen levels can contribute to things like fibroids, or things like PCOS, things like perimenopause symptoms, heavy bleeding, are just imbalance between estrogen and testosterone levels. And we know that diet does have something to do with that. Insulin resistance has something to do with that. So we know that when we start eating more non-processed foods, high fiber foods, whole grains, fruits and vegetables, that can impact in a positive way our hormone balance in our bodies. And I've had women, for example, when they start eating healthier and they start losing weight, they say that their cycles become more regular. Their hormones don't feel like they're so out of whack. Insulin resistance can improve, and then a lot of other issues with regard to sexual, reproductive, and just general health can also improve. So whole food, plant-based diet, cut out the sugar. Cut out the sugar. And I laugh because I have a sweet tooth, but so inflammatory. It's terrible. Like the diet that we eat is literally killing us, and we just have to like figure out how to shift our diet for sure.
Erica shares, I bet she'll say lentils. I love lentils. I love lentils, by the way. At one point I had a case of lentils. That sounds crazy, but I actually did. I had a case of lentils.
Lentils, quinoa. She's sick of me talking about that. But it's true.
But I have pen in hand. I take notes. Okay. I'm glad to know that because I love lentils.
Lentils
I
are
love them.
awesome. Excellent food. All kinds, any beans, legumes, whole grains, whatever. Eat all of it.
I love it. I love it. And Miss Julie, let me tell you something. Miss Julie is a super sleuth. I love her. Listen, if you say it, Miss Julie, I'm inclined to believe is a computer herself. Miss Julie, I love you. She shares, thank you so much, Dr. Kimberly Rogers. She has found the details. Dr. Sharon Abdul Rahman. You know what? I love it. Miss Julie, I just love you.
Thank you. I hope Dr. Abdul Rahman's door about to be knocking.
Yes. Well, listen, between the two of you, we're going to be calling the two of you. So, and to that point, are you accepting new clients?
Yes, I am accepting new patients. I just opened my practice in January of this year. So I'm still, in that process of accepting new patients. So I do primary care, and then I also do lifestyle medicine and medical weight loss. So my primary care patients benefit from all of that. And then I also have a dedicated 6-month medical weight loss program for the general public. And so, if anybody's interested, they can check out my website.
Yes, please. I have pen in hand. I'm waiting. What is your website, Dr. Rogers?
It's www.restoremedmed.com. And that's
mdmed.com.
restoremdmed.com.
Okay. Restore. Look at that. I'm sorry. Restore MED. What's wrong with me? I don't know what's wrong with me today.
Restore MD and then MED.
Oh, I did have it right.
Yeah, you had it.
I did. Okay, I am all right. Thank you. Thank you, God. I said, why did I write that? Because that's what she said. Okay. And Dr. Rogers, Miss Julie is sharing. Dr. Sharon Abdul Rahman is in obstetrics and gynecology.
Yes.
Eric shares, thank you so much for this insight. He thinks that this information is as helpful to men as to women. We can be more patient and understanding with this information. Thank you, Eric. Share that. Tell the rest.
Yeah.
Tell
true.
them. And Donna, hi there, beautiful. Donna Baker is saying hello to everybody. She's sending some love. And Malcolm says that sugar is so addictive.
Who you
Yes, it is.
I know that.
Yes, it is.
They are
I work with kids, and I like to bring them well, I was bringing them munchkins at one point in time, and then they asked me, Miss Carol, can we you always bring us the middle. Can we have a whole donut? So I brought them donuts last week.
Oh
They
my
said,
God.
you should have one. And I said, Miss Carol should not. Miss Carol should not have one of those donuts.
Mm-mm.
No.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, but yeah, oh, my
Struggling
babies.
get it.
Dr. Rogers, I cannot thank you enough. I really do hope that you will come to visit with us again because I
I
have
would
so
love
enjoyed
to.
our conversation.
Anytime you'd like for me to be here, I'm here. So
Oh
thank
my goodness, that warms my heart. I'm telling you, I'm telling you. Ms. Diane shares, thank you as well. She shares this was such a great segment with great information. And you're so right about the food. They just put so much junk in our
you.
food that you have to be a detective. You really
Absolutely.
do.
You really do. You really
It
do.
it it is sad, but, but it's listen, but it's so worthwhile. It's so worth it. It is
Yep,
so
I
worth it.
love it for sure.
And so I will be reaching out to you. I most certainly will to have you come back and talk with us because again, this conversation was just so informative and you make it so easy to talk with you about these things, which is helpful.
Well, I'm glad
So
you feel that way. Thank you, and I hope I've been helpful. And this has been so much fun. Thank you so much for having
I,
me.
I want to share one more time. Your website is www.restoremdmed.com.
There you go. You got it.
See that? Listen, that's Dr. Kimberly Rogers, everybody. Thank you, Dr. Rogers. And yeah, Miss Julie, she put it out there. There you go. And Miss Julie, I told you love Miss Julie. I love her. I'm gonna put you in my pocket, Miss Julie. I promise you I am. I am. And Lisa Love. Hi, beloved. Lisa Love is my beloved. How are you? Oh my goodness, it's been so long. I love you, Lisa. So happy to have you join us as well. Oh, Lisa Love's going to come on one day and talk with us. And Diane shares, I just had a Reese cup. Don't you share that with us. Don't you share that with us. You keep that to yourself, Miss Diane. I don't have any Reese's cups here. I can't have any sugar. I don't have any sugar right now. Okay, Dr. Rogers, I am not going to hold you hostage any longer. I so welcome your return, and I thank you tremendously for coming to share your time, your energy, just your spirit, and your knowledge with us. We so appreciate you. Thank you so much, and we will see you next time. Have a great night. Oh my goodness, family, 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 family. I just loved her to pieces. Didn't I tell you? I told you she was phenomenal. I told you. I told you. So here we are. Whew, here we are. Here we are as I decompress, as we decompress. Family, just praising God from whom all blessings flow as we wrap up tonight's episode. Just thank you again. I know I said it earlier, but I don't believe I can thank you enough. Just for sharing your time and your energy and your attention and your spirit, because I feel you. Nick and I, we feel you. I promise you we do. And it feels so good. It feels so good. We look forward to spending this time with you every day. I promise you that we do, because it's just such a release. And I hope that you feel that way too. I really do. To our guest, Dr. Kimberly Rogers, thank you once again. Just thank you so much for just being you and for sharing you with us. To the entire WURD family, especially Niall Jax and Nick Steptoe, for all that you do. I promise you I couldn't do it without you. Just thank you. Family, just you know what I'm about to say. We're all in this together. So you be good to you. You be so good to you, but please be good to those around you. You hear me? You have a great rest of your night, family. And be sure to join me Monday through Thursday, 7 till 9 p.m. Eastern Time for another edition of Love and Life right here on WURD progressive, Black Talk Media. I love you, but God loves you so much more. All right? All right? All right. Good night.